This video is about summary of chapter 2 of the book, Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. Check the link in description to download the summary notes. They were quite useful. You can also watch complete book summary of this book. Complete summary is also available in our channel. Power is the second energizer, a crucial ingredient in feeling good and being productive. And best of all, it's not something you seize from others, it's something you create for yourself. The question is, how to take power or your control in work. Ali told us different ways to gain control over your work. 1. Confidence switch. 2. The social model method. 3. The Protégé Effect. 4. Own the process. 5. Own your mindset. 1. Confidence switch. The method involves what I call flipping the confidence switch. In other words, challenging yourself to behave as if you're confident in your task, even if you're not. The method is even more simple than it sounds. The next time you're not feeling good enough to take a chance, simply ask yourself, what would it look like if I were really confident at this? What would it look like if I approached this task feeling confident that I could do it? Just by asking yourself the question, you'll visualize yourself confidently approaching the task at hand. The switch has been flipped. 1. The social model method. This method involves: before starting the project, you saw someone else present their research project on a similar theme. The content of their presentation is entirely different to yours. But this time, you know that this kind of task isn't impossible. You've just seen someone else pull it off. You've become more confident that the task can be mastered. Ali shared his example that when he reads books, listens to podcasts, or watches videos with stories of people succeeding in the areas in which he wants to feel more empowered. When he was building My First Online Business, he spent a lot of time listening to the Indie Hackers podcast, which featured interviews with entrepreneurs who'd built incredible one-person online businesses from their bedrooms. They talked about the challenges they'd faced and how they'd overcome them, which boosted his own confidence when it came to dealing with similar challenges. Listen, it's a toolkit anyone can draw upon. Find people who are going through the same challenges as you and spend time with them, or find other ways to hear their stories. By immersing yourself in vicarious success, you'll be building a powerful story in your own mind that if they can, you can too. 3. The Protégé Effect. A study carried out by researchers at Stanford's School of Education in 2009. The researchers brought 62 8th graders into a biology class where they were randomly assigned to one of two groups. The first group was told to study and learn the material as they normally would, with the goal of performing well on a test at the end of the class. The second group was told that they would be teaching the material to a computer-generated avatar and that their performance would be evaluated based on how well their digital students learned the material. At the end of the class, both groups took the same test to assess their mastery of the material. Result? Strangely, the researchers found that the students in the second group who taught the material to a computer-generated student learned better than the students in the first group who'd studied for the test alone. In identical circumstances with identical material, the people who had to teach others about a subject would learn the material better themselves. The researchers named this phenomenon the Protégé Effect. The Protégé Effect hints at another way we can boost the number of learning experiences in our lives. As the philosopher Seneca said, "He who teaches learns." And once you understand the power of the Protégé Effect, it becomes surprisingly easy to take on the role of teacher in almost any role. Listen, and if you're concerned that you're not qualified enough to teach someone else, it's worth remembering that the people we learn from best are often the ones who are just a step ahead of us in the journey. So anyone can become a teacher. You don't need to be a guru, you can just be a guide. 4. Own the process. Ali says, when we can't take ownership of the situation, we can still take ownership of the process. There's almost always a way for us to own the process of a task, even when the outcome has been determined by someone else. Example: if you work in customer service, you may not have control over the company's policies, but you can take ownership of how you interact with customers. You can make an effort to listen to their concerns, empathize with their frustrations, and find creative solutions to their problems. If you're a teacher, you may not have control over the curriculum, but you can take ownership of how you teach the material. You can find innovative ways to engage your students, create fun activities that reinforce the concepts, and give personalized feedback that helps each student improve. Listen, there's an extraordinary power to be gained by doing it your way, even in the most disempowering circumstances. 5. Own your mindset. Ali told in his book that you need to change your mindset from have to choose to. Have to is coercive language that makes you feel powerless. Choose to is an autonomy-affirming language that makes you feel powerful. Whenever you feel you must do something, think again. How did your choices lead you to this moment? And is there a way to turn this have to into a choose to? And if you're doing something you really didn't choose, what choices can you make around your approach? Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist and survivor of the Auschwitz concentration camp during World War II, put it beautifully. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way.